Gypsy Rose claps back and doubles down to people questioning, well, if your sister was supposed to be babysitting your baby, why was she spotted at a BAR? Gypsy took to IG to say, my sister Mia watched her for a few hours while Ken and I had a moment to prioritize our relationship. And just shy of a month of nonstop care of a newborn, we wanted a chance to be together as a couple.
Gypsy Rose Blanchard is making headlines again, but this time it's not about her past, it's about her present. A simple Instagram post ignited an online storm when Gypsy shared a picture of herself and her husband Ken enjoying a night out. What caught people's attention wasn't just her newly dyed dark hair or the couple's embrace, but the glaring absence of her newborn baby. The caption read, "First date night after having our baby," followed by heart emojis. While some fans flooded the comments with admiration, a growing number of people had one pressing question: where was the baby? At barely a month old, most mothers are rarely seen without their newborns. Gypsy's post raised concerns. Who was watching the baby? How comfortable was she leaving her child behind so soon? And why did it seem like the baby was never in public view? Among the many questions in the comments, one stood out. Already leaving the baby with a sitter? Gypsy responded, stating that her sister Mia had been watching the baby for a few hours while she and Ken took some time for themselves. My sister Mia watched her for a few hours while Ken and I had a moment to prioritize our relationship. After shy month of non-stop care of a newborn, we wanted a chance to be together as a couple. Some people supported her decision, urging that every parent deserves a break. Others, however, weren't convinced. One commenter pointed out that you have a lifetime to be with Ken, but your baby will only be a newborn once. To this, Gypsy defensively responded, "Trust me, we give her so much love and cuddles."
You mean to tell me she's so famous that she can't go out on a date night with Ken without people shooting pictures of her and requesting to take pictures with her, right? But nobody has gotten a picture of this baby because she's so famous. Can somebody make that make sense? She's so famous that people know who she is, and so they stop her in a mall to take pictures with her. But yet, nobody has seen her with a baby. Why? Isn't that a little suspicious? I mean, she can't go out to dinner because she's surrounded by people who need to take her picture. But this baby has traveled back and forth to a doctor once a week, and everybody around her knows who she is, but nobody snapped a picture of a baby. I don't know.
But here's where things get even more questionable. Later that night, Mia was spotted live streaming from a bar. This meant that she wasn't home with the baby as Gypsy had claimed. So, if Mia wasn't watching the baby, then who was? The situation became even murkier when users started pointing out inconsistencies in Gypsy's social media activity. That same night, Gypsy was actively engaging in conversations online, responding to comments and even liking posts, raising further doubts about her claim of being a fully hands-on mother. Some critics questioned whether she was using these small moments of controversy to keep herself relevant, while others felt genuine concern over the welfare of her child. Additionally, some users began analyzing the timestamps of Mia's live stream and Gypsy's Instagram responses, realizing that there was an overlap, meaning neither of them was with the baby at the exact moment. This led to even more speculation. If Mia wasn't watching the baby and Gypsy was actively online, then the real question remained: who was really taking care of Gypsy's child that night? Gypsy's explanation did not add up. If she said Mia was watching the baby, but Mia was at a bar, then the next likely person was Christy, Gypsy's stepmother. But why wouldn't Gypsy just say that?
Gypsy Rose claps back and doubles down to people questioning, well, if your sister was supposed to be babysitting your baby, why was she spotted at a BAR? Gypsy took to IG to say, my sister Mia watched her for a few hours while Ken and I had a moment to prioritize our relationship. And just shy of a month of nonstop care of a newborn, we wanted a chance to be together as a couple. Oh, here's another selfie. Asha Gem says, her wording is so funny. Prioritize is a bit intense for only a month after being born. Nonstop care. Well, yeah, what did she expect? If she's struggling already, oh boy, she can have a fun ride into toddlerhood and beyond. Once that baby's walking, you'll know what nonstop means, Gyp. Y'all, terrible twos. I mean, it's a whole nother level. Yeah. You know, then it gets easier, and harder, then easier, then harder. I mean, it speaks for itself. There's no closing needed here.
This wasn't the first time Christy's name had come up in a conversation about who was caring for the baby. People speculated that Gypsy frequently relied on Christy for childcare, but refused to admit it. Some even pointed out that Christy had been seen with the baby-related items multiple times, yet Gypsy insisted she was handling motherhood alone.
It's when you have a newborn, it's hour to hour. But it's good. We're all really...
The inconsistency in Gypsy's claims only made people more skeptical. When confronted, Gypsy went on a defensive rant, insisting that Christy wasn't taking care of the baby and that she had been handling everything herself. However, this denial raised more red flags. If Christy wasn't taking care of the baby, then why had she been spotted purchasing baby supplies? Why had there been multiple instances where Christy was seen arriving at Gypsy's home with bags? Yet, Gypsy still insisted she wasn't receiving any help? The speculation did not stop there. Neighbors claimed to have seen Christy frequently coming and going from Gypsy's house, often carrying what appeared to be baby essentials. Some even reported hearing the baby cry when Gypsy was supposedly out, leading many to suspect Christy was stepping in more than Gypsy was willing to admit. The secrecy surrounding Christy's involvement only fueled more rumors. Was Gypsy trying to appear as an independent mother while relying on Christy in the background? But now, people were catching onto the pattern. If she lied about who was watching the baby, what else was she hiding? Was Gypsy attempting to maintain an illusion of independence when, in reality, she was relying on others more than she wanted to admit? And if she was being dishonest about something as simple as childcare, what other details about her life were being manipulated to fit a certain narrative? This isn't the first time Gypsy has left the public in confusion. From the inconsistencies in her pregnancy timeline to the secrecy surrounding her baby's birth, something always seems off. Pregnancy timeline confusion. At times, Gypsy's baby bump seemed visible, and at other times, it was clearly non-existent. People started questioning if she was even pregnant at all, or if she had been exaggerating her condition for attention. Some pointed out that during certain public appearances, her stomach appeared flat, while others, she seemed visibly pregnant. This led to theories that she might have been selectively revealing or concealing her bump depending on the narrative she wanted to push at the time. Additionally, inconsistencies in her due date estimates further fueled skepticism, with some suspecting that she either misled the public about her pregnancy's timeline or that something more mysterious was happening behind the scenes. Let's look at the hospital secrecy. The baby was reportedly born premature, yet they left the hospital just 2 days later. Normally, premature babies require extended medical care, observation, and monitoring to ensure that the vital functions are stable before being discharged. The fact that Gypsy and Ken were able to leave so soon raised questions. Did the baby actually need special care, or was the situation exaggerated? Additionally, there were no reports from hospital staff, no confirmed birth details, and no statements from doctors. Everything about the birth remained unusually private. Some speculated that Gypsy and Ken might have received special treatment or were trying to control the narrative to maintain their privacy, while others wondered if the story was even accurate at all.
Why hasn't nobody seen this baby yet? I mean, you all know where I stand on that, right? You all know I'm on the no baby train, all right? And I know a lot of you out there are as well. But if they're trying to keep this story up, shouldn't it have been leaked by now? Everything else she ever did has been leaked by now. It's crazy. I mean, nobody can keep their story straight when it comes to this baby. Nobody knows the exact weight. Nobody knows the exact time. Nobody knows nothing about this baby, really. Just that she was born naturally and she's healthy. That's all we hear. Like a broken record.
Then came Ken's job mystery. Ken was said to be a bartender, but no one actually knows where he works. Unlike most people with public social media profiles, there is no concrete evidence of where Ken is employed. No co-workers, no bar location, and no customer sighting. His job remains a complete mystery. Some have speculated that he might be unemployed or working under the table, while others think Gypsy deliberately avoids revealing his workplace to keep scrutiny away. The only mention of his job came from Gypsy herself, but with no actual proof proof, people are left wondering, does Ken really work as a bartender, or is there more to the story? All of these moments have left people wondering if Gypsy and her family intentionally create these scenarios to keep the public guessing and to keep the attention on them. Of course, beyond the mystery of who watches her baby, another issue has emerged: Gypsy's constant presence on social media. Many have pointed out that instead of using her baby's nap to rest, she spends it engaging in online drama. When criticized for this, Gypsy posted, "They say sleep when the baby sleeps, but who really does that when laundry and cleaning need to be done? Not to mention the used baby bottles that need to be washed for the next feeding." She then posted a poll asking, "Sleep during naps, yes or no?" The problem with her statement, people aren't criticizing her for doing housework. They are pointing out that instead of resting or caring for her baby, she was always on social media. Another red flag popped up when Gypsy shared a picture of a baby formula maker, calling it "our best friend." Well, many parents use formula makers. Those familiar with Baby Brezza know the controversy behind it. Customer reports and lawsuits have raised concerns that the machine sometimes mixes formula incorrectly, leading to overly diluted or overly concentrated feed. This can be dangerous for newborns, causing issues like malnutrition or dehydration. A class action lawsuit even accused Baby Brezza of causing failure to thrive in infants due to improper formula mixing. Pediatricians advise that parents monitor their baby's weight closely if using this device. So why didn't Gypsy research this before calling it her best friend? Was she aware of the risks, or was she just promoting a product blindly? Gypsy continuously presents herself as a dedicated mother, but the inconsistencies tell another story. She left the baby behind. Going on a date so soon isn't the issue. The issue is lying about who was watching the baby. The trust factor comes into questions when someone consistently misleads others about their childcare situation. Instead of being upfront, Gypsy's conflicting statements have fueled speculation about whether she truly has a structured support system or if she's improvising as she goes. Then the excessive media use. Instead of focusing on rest or bonding with the baby, she spends hours defending herself online. It's not just about the occasional check-in. Gypsy appears to be online constantly, engaging in back and forth arguments like posts and participating in lengthy discussions. Many have questioned if she's prioritizing her digital presence over real life responsibilities, as being a new mother typically requires round-the-clock attention. Lack of research on baby products. If she did not know about the risks of the Baby Brezza, what other decisions is she making without proper research? Motherhood often comes with a learning curve, but when dealing with an infant's health and well-being, taking shortcuts can have serious consequences. The fact that Gypsy openly endorsed a product without considering its potential raises concerns about how she evaluates what's best for her child. At this point, the question remains, is Gypsy prioritizing her role as a mother, or is she more concerned with maintaining her online persona? Her actions continue to leave room for doubt, making it unclear whether she's struggling to adjust or if there is a deeper issue at play. Gypsy's journey into motherhood has been filled with contradictions. While it's understandable that she wants to balance her new life with her personal time, the lies and inconsistencies are rising to alarm. Her supporters argue that she's adjusting to motherhood just like anyone else, while her critics believe she's more focused on appearances than actual parenting. But with the public catching on to her patterns, one thing is clear: Gypsy's every move will continue to be watched. So, what do you think? Is Gypsy genuinely struggling to balance her new life, or is she purposely stirring controversy to keep people talking? Let me know in the comments. Like and subscribe to stay updated on this ongoing drama.